Intuitive thoughts for March 30th, 2025. Buckle up, buttercups. I got a lot to share with you. This is actually a combination of 2 different days worth of things. I wanted to sort out through all of the crazy static from yesterday to be able to give you a bit clearer idea. And about midway through the night last night, all of a sudden, everything just cleared up. My dreams returned to normal. I was able to come up with a little bit more clarity for some of the things that I saw yesterday. So this is what we're going to have. It's a lot. It's 2 days worth. And if I end up doing this in 2 videos, it's just because it's getting long. I think there's going to be a bus accident. It might even be a school bus. And it's going to be caused by something being avoided in the middle of the road. In my thought process, it was avoiding a child in the road, but I don't think it's necessarily a child. I think it's going to be something's in the middle of the road and it's a bus that swerves to avoid it. But the context was in my dream, it was that it was a bus, a yellow school bus, and it was avoiding a child in the road. But I think it may just be bus in general, something in the road. I think that the father of a very large family, think kind of Ruby Frank type vibe, is going to come into the news situation. And it's going to be kind of a pretty big thing. I think that it's going to, I want to say that you're going to come out and you're going to see that he's responsible for something that has happened. And there were a lot of kids. Like we're talking like 8, 9, 10 kids in the family. And this was pretty vivid. And it was like he was hiding them from something, or he was hiding something from them. So there's that. I don't want to get into too much details with that because this is going to be long. I keep hearing cutting strings. Every time I tried to ask about that yesterday, first I'd see a kite, then I'd see a balloon, then I'd see marionettes. So there are strings being cut. It may end up being all 3 things. So something that's being tethered to a ground, something that is being held on to for joy, but also something that is being controlled, puppet strings. So there's that. I've heard more than once the word paradox. And this morning when I woke up, I saw it almost like it was a neon sign. It was very big and vivid. So that is very important. And I don't quite know what it means yet, but I'm going to put it out there because I think that there may be a bunch of other psychics that are also getting the same thing that might be able to help me come up with the clarification for that. But I heard it all day yesterday, and today I woke up with it under a clear mind, and it was like a big neon sign. I keep hearing the words bridges, mind the gap, and cancel culture, all of them together. So there is mind the gap. I know that's not a, I keep thinking it's a Disney thing, but it's not. I think it's a London thing. I remember hearing that when we were on the subway systems in London, mind the gap. So there's bridges, mind the gap, and cancel culture. And they're all together. And cancel culture actually originally first started coming to me hearing Culture Club. So I don't know if that's me just interpreting things wrong or if there was a reason for that, but I might as well just put it out there since I'm doing this. The silence was agreed to. I'm seeing that the silence or silencing of something was intentional and that it was agreed to, that this was part of an agreement silence. It's an arranged silence. So this is something, again, that came up yesterday, and I didn't know if it was because I was angry. So I want to, and again, it's still there today, so my head is nice and clear today. I don't have any of the issues of the electricity that was kind of staticky yesterday. I don't have that today. So arranged silence is agreed to. So I'm not quite sure yet what that means, but I want to put that out there because that may come into play. Again, I keep hearing Sound of Silence. I keep hearing that song, and there's so many aspects of that song. I know I've mentioned it in multiple videos, but that is still coming out. The Sound of Silence. Silence, 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 silence. There's a lot of silence references. So either we're being silenced, someone's being silenced, something is silenced, and blackout. So that could be the whole TikTok thing going away. I'm not positive if that's what that is yet because I haven't gotten any kind of validation on my end about that, but it could be that it's kind of like a blackout, that we're going to be blacked out of that in the sound of silence. We won't be hearing things anymore. So I don't know. I'm not positive. It could be. I also heard one time when I got up last night, and this is after the air kind of cleared. So I had the first half of the night where things just were still kind of staticky, but then the second half of the night, things just kind of cleared up. And I got up to go to the bathroom one time, and I heard very vividly, your wait time is like the way you hear when you're waiting, you're finding out like what your wait time is when you're making a call. It's like a robo call type thing. And I was like, your wait time is. And then I never got a time frame. I just kind of got this indefinite silence. So that's something that's going on. That's something that's influencing things now. There's something about being left behind. Someone is left behind or something is left behind, and you're not being told that this is happening to you. So it's almost like you're part of this big group and they're all marching forward, or they're all going in the thought process. It was that we were all going from like store to store to store. And all of a sudden I sat down to sample something or look at something. Or no, you know what it was? I was painting something with watercolors. And it was just like a color by number thing on a table. And it was like a sample type thing. And I sat down to paint this. And this is in a dream last night. Just for those of you who are like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was painting, it was like a sample type thing. And I was painting, we were in a hobby store. And I was painting with watercolors. And I went to go and just wash my brush out. And when I went to go and put the brush down, I realized that all of these people that I had been traveling with, including the father of the multiple kids, we were all walking from store to store to store together. And all of a sudden I noticed that I was all alone and I was left behind. And they had all left. They had all taken the vehicles. They were like gone. I didn't know where anybody had gone. And I was like, oh my God, like I was left behind. What is going on? Like, are they mad at me? What happened? I'm not sure what's going on. And I ended up walking back to where I was staying. And the entire walk back in my head, I kept just going through all these different scenarios to try and figure out what it is that went wrong and try and understand things. Now, it could very well be that that was my brain trying to justify and come to terms with the fact that I had been so angry yesterday that I was trying to understand all these different intuitive things that were coming through. But I think there's something more to it, and I'm not quite sure yet what that means, but I figure these are my intuitive thoughts, so I'm putting them out there. I do want to address the fact that somebody said, oh, you're so vague. It could be anybody. People die. You know what? These are intuitive thoughts. These are the things that come through for an intuitive. I am not claiming to be a psychic predictor. I am not claiming to be a person who's going to tell you specific dates and times of scenarios. I'm telling you as an intuitive the things that I see so that we can lay these down and lay down the foundation of understanding how intuition actually works. And then in hindsight, when it does come to pass and you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, you called that. It's an understanding of the fact that there is something more to this earth than what you see in front of you. So please save yourself the comments. It's not necessary. I'm not claiming to be somebody that I'm not. I'm incredibly honest. Just let it go. But there you go. Sunday, Intuitive Thoughts, March 30th, 2025.